Hello everyone. Okay, today I'm going to be doing something I haven't done in quite a while because this game's walkthrough took quite a long time to do. I didn't realize that this indie game was going to have so much to cover. So the game is Eiyuden Chronicles Rising, as you saw when I was loading in. This game was developed by Natsume Atari and it was published by 505 Games. Now, if you are watching this on YouTube, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are enjoying this kind of content with the reviews and walkthroughs and stuff like that. It really helps the channel out a lot. Now, for the review, I review a game based on 5 categories, which is story, graphics, music and sound effects, gameplay and mechanics, and achievements. Now for the first one, the story, I'm just gonna put it simply. This is a prequel chapter / prologue prequel to Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Hero. So in Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, you are playing as CJ, who in turn recruits Guru and Isha, shown here, to solve the problems of the rune burrows and help build the town into a more prosperous location. Now, this game is very well paced in the terms of how the story is delivered, though sometimes it's very short, sometimes there's some long-winded parts, but overall it's pretty balanced. And during the course of the story, you do learn a lot about each of the 3 characters. The biggest shocker would be Guru closer to the end of the game when you find out why he's here. Well, actually, his several reasons for being here. But you play as TJ the whole time, so you pretty much know her story from start to finish, and then Isha joins you like halfway through the game, so you kind of get force-fed at a high speed of what's going on with her having taken over as mayor of the town. I'm not going to get too into the actual main story, but do know that this game also contains shop quests, which have a little bit of backstory and help build up the town. And resident quest, which helps bring the light, like the day-to-day life and like things going on in town with the residents. And as the town gets bigger, more shop and resident quests become available until you beat the game and you get the last set of quests. So overall, the story I thought was fantastic. It's definitely worth playing through once just for that. And it's a nice introduction into the Eiyuden Chronicles stories. I'm hoping they do more after 100 Heroes. It would be nice. Now for the graphics, I'm just gonna put it simply. I love the animation of the characters. I love the character art that they have. I think it's really well done. I love the way the characters look in the game. My big gripe about this is the way they move, and I'm going to move to the next area to show you as well. The player characters and the NPCs all have this kind of like what do they call it, marionette look, where they're being walked like a puppet. But outside of that, like, the characters look really well done. They're fairly well portioned, so like aside from a few characters here and there, like even the heads look pretty proportional to the character. Another thing they did really well was the foreground and the background. There's a lot of love and detail and color in all of these. So as you're walking around, a lot of things are going to catch your eye, and I caught myself looking at all the details of the world as I was walking around, including in all the other like battle regions as well. I was looking around quite a bit. So graphically, this game's pretty good, especially for the team that they had when they actually made this game. I think they got more people when 100 Heroes came out. Now for the music and sound effects. The sound effects I thought they were pretty good. I mean, there's a lot, but there's not a lot, if you know what I mean. I mean, for a game like this, there's not a whole lot of sound effects, but it's a small game, so it kind of fits the narrative. Now, for the music, I loved all the music in the game, but the background music for the town changes as you complete your stamp card, which you see up at the top. When you first get there, you have a silver card, which when the town's in the silver card range, you have a song, and then when it upgrades to the gold, you get a newer, more upbeat song, and then I think when you get the platinum card is when you get the last song that plays in the town, which is the best sounding one. But the next two after that, which confounds me as to why they didn't have 2 additional song tracks for those, it just stays at the platinum card music in the background. Which, I mean, the music in this stage is pretty good, or in the town is pretty good, so I mean, it has a lively feel to it. The dungeons and the boss music is where this game shines and don't shines at the same time. The forest, the quarry, Snow Peak, and Lava Ruins all have more like what I would call an ambient music background. I mean, it's got music playing in the background, but there's not really a whole lot going. It just gives you the feel that you're in those areas, but it doesn't give you any feeling outside of that. Now, the Rune Barrows, on the other hand, that one's got like this really unique music that plays. I want to say it's the Eiyuden Chronicle theme song, because I think they use it in 100 Heroes as well, and it's a really good theme. It's probably my favorite song in this whole game. But, and you know, overall, all the music and sound effects are phenomenal for this game. My one complaint that I've had with this game was actually in the sound. I don't know if it's just me, but there was many a times, and if you watch my walkthrough, you saw it occur too, and I tried to take it out and redo those parts as often as I could. There was random sound drops, like you'll be playing and all of a sudden the game just like all sound cuts out momentarily. It could be like 1 or 2 seconds long. It's not long, it's just more of an annoyance. So, I mean, if anybody else has had this issue, you can comment down below in the comment section. But to me, this happened way more frequently than I think it should have. Now, for the gameplay and mechanics. Now, if you've played any of the Suikoden's or Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, you know this game does not play anything like them. This is actually a 2D action RPG. I will show you by going into the quarry. Now, it's action oriented. You run, you jump, you attack. You can switch between characters with the press of a button, which I think is really neat. Each character is coordinated to a button. This is the Xbox version of the game, so like X is for using CJ, Y is for using Guru, and B is for Isha. Now, each character plays completely different. CJ's your agile fighter, hit quick, hit often, hit a lot, and dodge moves. Guru is your heavy duty bruiser. He's meant for dealing more damage per swing at less swings, with the side effect of being able to knock enemies backwards, charge up attacks. And Isha is your mage, basically your ranged character with teleporting. And if you equip the elemental runes to her, it changes what her spells are like. I'm not going to show that here. I'll let you guys dabble with that on yourself. So the controls are very smooth in this game. I did not have a single complaint whatsoever with the controls. I thought, like, for what they put into this game control-wise, they did a great job. The gameplay mechanics I thought were also good as well. It was neat that they took a action RPG and they made it a Metroidvania style game. It's not just a 2D platformer, go from point A to point B. You actually have to unlock things to be able to progress further into each of the regions, and or to find certain treasure chests or certain materials in order to upgrade stuff. And on top of upgrading stuff, if you have played any of the Suikoden or Eiyuden Chronicles, this game also contains the town upgrade, except for in this one it's not find materials or a character. You actually have to do quests for the shopkeepers that take over, and then they build up the shops, and then you have to do resident quests and work on your stamp card, which improves the town overall. So for the town, there's some minor town building mechanics. The combat is pretty smooth and fluid. As you encounter enemies, you have to, one thing I found annoying in this game was the reuse of assets and just adding a little bit of tinkering here and there. That's always something I found annoying, but at the same time, it's a good way to alter the game without breaking the bank. So, between the enemy variety and the town mechanics, there's also the shop mechanics, whereas as you upgrade the shops, more things become available. And if you've played, like I keep saying, Suikoden or Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, you have a blacksmith, that allows you to upgrade your weapons and armor. Now, in this game you can upgrade armor, but in any of this other Suikoden / Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Hero, I believe only the weapons can be tempered at a blacksmith. So the armor's unique for this game, because in the other ones you just buy new armor at a shop and equip it. This game also has accessories, which, as you see here, I have critical mastery, which guarantees a critical hit every attack no matter what, and impossible luck, which guarantees an enemy drops an item no matter what. You get your first critical mastery and impossible luck for beating the game on normal. Then you get another one for completing all your stamp cards, which also adds in, because if you watched my boss rush or boss battles on hard, you'll see that I did a lot of link attacks that shouldn't have been possible, but that's because of this exploration tool, Eternal Bonds. You get this for maxing out all your stamp cards, which allows unlimited link attacks, so that's something to look forward to when you play. So you can, right off the gate, you can get 2 sets of critical mastery and impossible luck, but you can get a 3rd set if you beat the final boss on the hard difficulty. So you can get all 3 characters with those items, so don't feel like you missed out. Now for the achievements, this was something I can actually bring up in-game, because they have a in-game card that shows you the entire grid, and I'm assuming that they tied the achievements to these popping up in your card here. And they're pretty diverse. It's beat a game, collect so much money, kill so many monsters, create one of every shop's highest rank item. Well, not one of every, but one of the highest rank items in each category. So 1 max level rune, 1 max level potion, 1 max level accessory, etc. And other things like collecting materials and beating all the bosses on hard. Overall, the achievements are very well balanced. I didn't have any issues with it, and if you watched my playthrough or walkthrough that I did for it, you also see that I never once used the rune lenses. If you're max level and you fully upgrade everything, you don't need them. It just helps The only time I actually used these was to break the, I think they're called Elementium pillars, which you have to use a rune to break, but outside of that I didn't use these on any of the bosses or anything. So it's there if you're having problems, but I enjoyed the challenge that I had from not using them. So with everything out of the way, you know, the story was awesome. The graphics I was really impressed with. The music and sound effects, aside from the sound dropping issue that I had with the game, I thought the music and the sound effects were amazing. The gameplay and mechanics, the gameplay was smooth. The mechanics of the game are very well thought out and well done and well balanced, and the achievements are a nice balance overall. That's the summary from what I just said. Now, I normally rate a game 5 out of 10 for average instead of the industry standard of 7 or 8. In this game, I give it a solid 8. It's a great game. It has a few flaws that I find complaints with, not many. But overall, if you're a JRPG gamer, I highly recommend this game. If you're an action platformer slash Metroidvania lover, you'll love this game. If you're a casual, I would say if you can find it when it's on sale. I bought it when it was brand new because I knew I was going to enjoy it. But if you can get it when it's on sale, like maybe somewhere between $5 and $10, although I think it was only like 20 new, I can't remember for certain. But either way, if you can catch this for $5, it's worth playing, hands down. If you can get past the Japanese story writing. They tend to be long-winded and kind of out there with their characters for the most part, but overall, it's a very enjoyable experience. So, 8 out of 10, and if you guys are watching this on YouTube, I know I said at the beginning, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps my channel out a lot. And with all things gaming, game logic, am I right? I'll see you guys in the next video.